Another week, another set of new releases from Scale Model Scenery. This manufacturer is prolific at releasing scenic accessories, but more recently it's tended to focus a little bit on the buildings and structures which you can add to your layout, just to add a little bit of variety from what is out there readily available from your standard traditional model shop. So here we have two arrivals. To the left I have one called Stoney's Workshops, this is KX094, and to the right a small platform shelter, KX095. Both of these are for 4mm to the foot scale, and we're going to take a little look at the back of the packaging just to sort of show what you get inside. We're going to start with the small platform shelter. Here's a kit which is ideal for the beginner, and when I say the beginner I mean the ultimate beginner. You've got your first train set, you're looking to explore into making a few custom items to go alongside that. Well, here's a kit which has very few components and they're all laser cut, so they will fit together very neatly and precisely, and it's also cut on a very strong sheet. You can see there we're looking at about 4 to 5mm thick, which means that this building is strong once it's constructed and won't warp or distort, even if you accidentally knock it. So this builds up your frame, and then you've got the details which are fitted to the outside of that. The small platform shelter would be ideal for a small rural station, or for a platform which perhaps doesn't see as much traffic as the sort of main up and down lines on a layout. So you've got a choice here of red brick and weathered sandstone finishes included, and of course this is the sort of thing that, depending on the era that you are modelling, you may wish to add enamel signs as they have done there, and of course you can paint your wooden frames, your barge boards, things like that, different colours to represent different railway companies. Ideally, this is something that you would want to add alongside a collection of buildings of similar weathering. And of course, Scale Model Scenery, if you take a look at its website, often has weathered buildings that match those to form a bit of a range. So take a look at that. The other one here is Stoney's Workshop. So this is typical of a sort of a workshop that's been constructed somewhat on a budget. You can see we've got a tin roof, a little bit of a hairline crack going through, the render on the outside, it's heavily weathered, and it's sort of been added to piecemeal with some garages to the rear and a little side building there as well. Now this is typical of many tradespeople, where back in the day, and it's the same the case today, although it tends to be more in units where they operate out of, but somewhere to keep their tools, their consumables, things like that before they go on site to do some work. Or alternatively, you could look to perhaps place this adjacent to a quayside. Perhaps there's a boat builder's yard, or there's a timber company, and this is where they keep their bits and bobs, their consumables. Or it could even be on a farm. The options really are limited only by your imagination. So inside we've got the same thing again, laser cut, very strong thick board there. This building certainly isn't going anywhere on your layout, but the good advantage of having a thick board like that is that when you glue, you've got more surface area for that building to be stuck down onto your layout. We'd advise construction using one of the many sort of laser cut adhesives. The reason for this over something like PVA is just that they are faster setting, so it means that you can make rapid progress on a model. We would avoid using superglue wherever possible, just because the set time of superglue tends to be rather fast, and for some of these details just having a little bit of time to work around and move them into exactly where you need them to be just helps. So there you go. Check them out on the Scale Model Scenery website, and if you manage to assemble one of these kits, share some photographs with us. We'd love to see how you've got on.